Hi, my name is Patrick Reagan. Welcome to the Operational Procedures series of videos where we discuss backup and restore methods, ticket systems, documentation, change management, regulated data, licensing, and digital rights management. In Part 8, Licensing and Digital Rights Management discusses the various types of software licenses, the end-user licensing agreement, software piracy, and digital rights management. For those who are going to take the A+ exam, there are practice questions at the end of the video. If you have not already, subscribe to the Pat Has Your Back channel. Most software includes a software license which comes with terms and conditions including its overall use, number of copies, and backup options. Some licenses were already discussed with installing Windows videos and installing Linux videos. Licenses can be divided into personal licenses are designed for a single user, usually a home user, and usually associated with a single device. Corporate licenses are based on a per-seat purchase or as a site license. The software may be installed anywhere within the corporation and are often based on a monthly or annual renewal or subscription. Some will have an upfront cost with annual maintenance fees. Some licenses will be based on per seat, which is based on the number of users using the license, and concurrent, which is based on the number of users using the software at the same time. Some licenses will be based on a non-expired license, while most software which is usable until an expiration date. Closed source commercial software uses private source code that is not available to the general public. The end user gets the compiled executable file, which is often installed onto a system. Included with the license include an end-user license agreement, or EULA, which determines how the software can be used. Open source software is software with source code that anyone can inspect, modify, and enhance. The copyright holder grants users the rights to use, study, change, and distribute the software and its source code to anyone and for any purpose. However, some open source licenses uses a copyleft license that stipulates that anyone who releases a modified open source program must also release the source code for that program alongside it. Open source software provides transparency, flexibility, agility, and community collaboration while avoiding vendor lockout. GNU General Public License, or GPL, is software and license that is free and publicly available for use, modification, repackaging, and redistribution. GNU stands for GNU's Not Unix. GNU software can be used as an operating system or part of an operating system. GNU's is a series of widely used free software license or copyleft that guarantee end users the four freedoms to run, study, share, and modify the software, and any changes and improvements made to the software are distributed under the same license. Most Linux distributions or software are licensed under GPL. Software piracy is the act of using, copying, or distributing software without permission. As an IT professional, you should not use pirated software, and you should take steps to prevent software piracy. Using software without a license can be a copyright infringement and results in costly penalties. Companies that violate software license agreement, known as end-user license agreements or EULAs, can face significant liability. For example, the copyright owner may seek an award of statutory damages ranging from $750 to $30,000 per copyrighted work. In addition, you may be required to pay fines as high as $250,000 and may face up to 5 years in prison, while companies can be fined up to $1 million. Using unlicensed software can also put companies at increased risk of malware infections, which can cripple a company's network. Don't put your job at risk by using or supporting software piracy. Digital rights management, or DRM, refers to the technologies, methods, and strategies used by content creators, publishers, and distributors to protect their digital content from unauthorized use, distribution, and piracy while managing and enforcing the rights associated with that content. DR systems are designed to control access to digital media and devices, enforce usage restrictions, and protect copyrighted material from being illegally copied, shared, or modified. DRM is increasingly important as digital content spreads through peer-to-peer file exchanges, torrent sites, and online piracy. DRM typically involves the use of codes that prohibit content copying or limit the number of devices a product can be accessed from. Content creators can also use applications to restrict what users can do with their material or encrypt digital media, which can only be accessed by anyone with the decryption key. While DRM serves to protect intellectual property rights and enable legitimate content distribution, it also has been a subject of controversy and criticism due to concerns about user privacy, consumer rights, interoperability issues, and the potential restrictive or anti-competitive practices. Balancing the interests of content creators, distributors, and consumers while respecting legal and ethical considerations remains a challenge in the evolving landscape of digital content distribution and consumption. Some examples of DRM are Microsoft Play Ready, Apple FairPlay, Google Y Divine, Adobe Content Server, Verimatrix VCAS, Amazon DRM, and de novo. Most of these are used to protect video and audio streams and files. Apple FairPlay is used by Apple iTunes Store and App Store. Google Y Divine is used by online streaming services including Netflix, Hulu, and Disney+. Adobe Content Server is used to protect ebooks and other digital publications. Amazon DRM is used by Kindle Store and Prime Video, and de novo is used by video game publishers to protect their games. If you tried to play or open content protected with DRM and you get an error, you should ensure that you have the correct plugin or software component to access the file, audio clip, or movie. Make sure the add-in is active. Check your browser to ensure that the Play DRM controlled content option is enabled. Acquire the correct license for the content. Question. A user is using an application at home on his personal home computer. The user approaches you and asks about getting the software on multiple computers on the corporate network. What should you do? Answer. Tell the user to use the application at home and contact the vendor to acquire corporate licenses. Question. You're rolling out an application. You need to ensure that you're in compliance with the application's EULA. Which of the following would you use? Answer. Corporate use license. Question. Which of the following will you most likely find in the EULA? Answer. Restriction of use. Question. You found multiple copies of a home edition software on the network. Which of the following does this most likely violate? Answer. EULA. Question. You get a DRM error when playing a movie file. What should you do? Answer. Make sure you have the correct plugin. Question. What can you use to protect a movie from being played on unauthorized computers? Answer: use digital rights management or DRM. For more information, visit these sites. In summary, most software includes a software license which comes with terms and conditions, including its overall use, number of copies, and backup options. Closed source commercial software uses private source code that is not available to the general public. Open source software is software with source code that anyone can inspect, modify, and enhance. Software piracy is the act of using, copying, or distributing software without permission. As an IT professional, you should not use pirated software, and you should take steps to prevent software piracy. Digital rights management, or DRM, refers to the technologies, methods, and strategies used by content creators, publishers, and distributors to protect their digital content from unauthorized use, distribution, and piracy while managing and enforcing the rights associated with that content. Thank you for watching this video. The next video will be Operational Procedures Part 9, Proper Communication Techniques and Professionalism. If you have not already, don't forget to subscribe to the Pat Has Your Back channel. Thank you.